All right, so let's get on with the show. All right, so everybody's picked up their emails. So obviously, because you're all here, I suppose the ones that aren't here didn't get the email. So anyway, we're talking to you guys. So yeah, basically, what you've got in that pack is a lot of information to digest. Even more information now that you've got your handbook, and it all starts to make sense. Okay. So what we're doing on the blueprint with the nutrition, obviously very important. We're following like a two-phase plan. So the first phase is going to be the detox. And basically, has anyone done a detox before? Yeah? No? Come on, more than that. No? You probably didn't know it was a detox. You just thought, yeah, it's a weight loss plan, I'll do that. Alright, so anyway, detox is very important, and it's not just for weight loss, it's for everything. So even if someone came in, like one of the guys came in and he wanted to build a lot of muscle, I'd always start with a detox first, because what it's actually called, it's actually the body reset. Okay? So in the past you've been eating, drinking, whatever, you build up a lot of toxins in the body, and also, yeah, that's what we're trying to minimize. Those sort of toxins help us, what am I trying to say? Avoid us from dropping body fat, using energy correctly, and make us more inflammation and stuff, which is all the things we're trying to lower. Alright, so it's important. For about 15 days, we'll do 14, so we'll do things a little bit quicker. Alright, 2 weeks, you're going to be following the detox plan. Now, a few points with the detox plan first is basically the first 2 weeks, you're not going to be consuming any dairy products. Alright, so who knows some dairy products? Milk, yeah, cheese, yogurts, these sort of things, all this good stuff, alright? We're going to avoid it. So no dairy products, and we'll talk about that later, which is about lactose intolerance. Okay, so most of us probably are. No carbohydrates, and I don't mean that in a firm way, I mean no sort of starchy carbs or things that you consider carbs and sugars especially. We are allowed vegetables, and we are allowed 2 pieces of fruit maximum per day, alright? The thing is with the fruit is that fruit's actually high in sugars as well and carbs, and we've got to count that. So most of these detox diets that you might have followed in the past, they'll be like, oh yeah, have this smoothie, have that smoothie, loads of fruit, and they're like, you're hitting 100 grams, 150 grams of sugar just from like 4 or 5 pieces of fruit. We don't want that, we want less than that. No alcohol and tobacco, which is a big one for most. Alright, but for 2 weeks, please, I know Dubai is a tough place, drugs just going on. Owe it to yourselves now and again to just go, right, let's cut that one, knock that on the head for a couple of weeks. You can introduce it again in week 3, but ideally you wouldn't, alright, because we've got some big transformations, yeah? This will be the thing that's holding you back most, I imagine, alright? So, brilliant, so they're the sort of things that we need to manage. The other things that we need to do, again, lots of vegetables, so you have lots of green vegetables with each meal. And there's some recipes and stuff, I'll show you how to do that. 2 pieces of fruit max per day. We're going to consume a lot of water, okay? Everything that happens in the human body is all about our water intake. If you're dehydrated by 2%, it'll affect everything, and it'll shut down your body, and you won't even realise why you're not losing weight. And upping your water might just be the key to unlock that, alright? So very simply, drink between 3 or 4 litres a day. Obviously if you're training, you might want to add an extra 500 in, or an extra litre in as well. How much is too much? I don't think you'll get there, alright? Unless you're just guzzling until you're choking on it. That's not what we're about. But you won't get too much. Just keep drinking a water bottle every day. And one of the other things is your breakfast meal will be a smoothie, okay? So with the smoothies, if you take it to the next page, or actually you can see it here. This is the formula to make your smoothies. Now you can make this any way you like. The only key ingredients are basically 2 big handfuls of greens, like spinach or kale, ideally, leafy greens. And 1 piece of fruit to sweeten it. And then also a healthy fat choice. Okay, so you've got your options for healthy fat choice at the bottom to boost your smoothie. You can have like almond or peanut butter, tablespoon. Maybe some chia seeds, flax seeds, which you might have tried in the past. Everyone's heard that they're a superfood, right? Yeah, they're pretty good. Get them in there. Avocados, or even just a tablespoon of coconut oil. It's great. It might taste a little bit weird, but we don't eat for taste anymore, all right? We eat for fuel and to look great for the beach on our holidays in the summer, okay? So coconut oil, I actually like it. A tablespoon of that in. Or a little cheat, have your smoothie without it, and then put a tablespoon of coconut oil in with your coffee. That's what I do. All right. So anyway, on the other pages, you've got a couple of ideas and recipes as well that I put together myself. I say put together myself, stole them from other people who left them on the internet. So these are not my pictures. All right, so you've got a few ideas there. Now, in this initial detox, oh, brilliant. So that's what we're talking about. That's the bulk of what we're here for, to understand, all right? Now, there's the why. Why are we doing this sort of stuff? And I think that's more important because it'll make you believe it more, believe me. And when things get hard, it's a reminder of, you know, actually this is the process. And we've got to go through this. And, you know, we will get a great result to it if we stick to it. After 3 or 4 days, you'll start to feel a bit of craving for sugars or alcohol. It's important to know that you need to get past that point, get through the first weekend where it's a party going on or your friend's barbecue or whatever, and just give it to yourself. So the other things we're touching on now then, we'll talk about supplements that are going to help us, mainly in lowering inflammation and increasing insulin sensitivity and exposing us to burn more body fat, okay, and store less. Right? We burn more body fat, we store less body fat. It works together. And we'll talk about insulin sensitivity and resistance. Anyone know what that is? Really? Okay. Lactose intolerance. People have probably heard this. A doctor likes to say this one. And portion sizes. Okay. So if you've seen your emails with your plans, and I'll go through them a little shortly later, with your plans, there won't be any like, oh, how much am I going to eat? Like it says like a protein choice, you know, and vegetables, you know, what's with quantities and portions. So basically, I'll tell you about portion sizes, and I'll send you another email later today as well with a graphic of how that works. All right. So we're here talking about insulin sensitivity first, which is probably the most important part of fat loss. Okay. So insulin is a hormone the pancreas releases to direct and regulate carbohydrates. So when we consume carbohydrates, insulin's released, and that'll direct the carbs and sugars in your blood where to go. Now there's 3 pathways. We've got the liver, which is very important. Where's my piece of chalk? What chalk can go through here? So we've got the liver. We've also got the muscles. Okay, so that's good. And we've also got the fat stores as well, our body fat, so taking those sugars if no one else wants them, all right? Or, what we're talking, insulin resistance. If your insulin's not working, the fat will just store, all right? So with the liver, you can imagine, I'll get onto that in a second. The liver's got limited storage and space, so, you know, very minimal sugars, like 2 pieces of fruits and vegetables, will fill the liver to provide you enough energy for your bodily functions and your hormones, which is brilliant. The other part is your muscles, okay? Now, the more muscle you have, the more carbs and sugars you can store. So that's a little idea. Guys have got more muscle than girls, usually. So you're going to be able to eat more carbohydrates later on. You know, that's why you eat more, because it's stored in a bigger muscle mass. Now, girls, we increase more muscle mass, we're able to eat more calories, yeah, as well. And it won't turn into fat. It'll make you more athletic and keep continually increasing body fat. So we don't want to worry about building muscle, because that's a good thing, right? All right. And the next is the fat stores, which fat cells are on limited space. In fact, the body will just make new fat cells and go, right, you can store in there. Okay, we've got too much sugars again, let's make more fat cells. And you just pile on the weights, and this is actually how it works, all right? Now, what we want to do, I've brought a note here. Too many sugars, carbs in the blood, they will be taken to the fat cells for storage. Simple as that. The liver will get full, the muscles will get full first, and then what's left will go to the fat stores. So we need to actually balance it right, so we just fill the liver, fill the muscles, and then have nothing left for the fat. That's the idea here. This is where portion sizes come in. Insulin resistance is probably what most people are, okay? This is where your body hasn't really had this detox or reset, and you tend not to use carbohydrates or sugar, or use them properly, and your body fat cells will store them more often. Basically, your insulin, which is like the hormone, won't work properly or very well, so it won't take those sugars to the right places. So it's not working, it's a little bit tired, you know, it comes in, a load of sugars come in because we've just had brunch. All those sugars and the insulin won't be working very effectively, so it won't be taking it to the liver, it won't be taking it to the muscles, the fat cells will just take care of the rest, all right? So that's when you're insulin resistance, and this is very where some people who really struggle with losing weight, no matter what they do, it's because their insulin's not working very effectively to take the sugars and the energy to the right places, or create energy, okay? So another little note on here that I'll have to read out. Insulin doesn't do its job very well if you're insulin resistant, or if you're diabetic, or you have diabetes. It's not working at all, alright? So leaving more sugar in the blood, and where will that end up? To the fat cells, okay? It'll leave the sugar in the blood. So a great analogy of this is the favourite, the traffic cop analogy. So we can imagine our body and our, just call it our body, as like a road, okay? So we've got Chickside Road here, yeah? We'll keep it regional. That's not how you do next. Chickside Road, that's not either. But, so we've got the traffic cop. So we've got the traffic cop here, who's like our insulin. Alright, so he's our insulin guy, alright? I for insulin. See that? So basically, when you consume, so we've got two pathways, right? The liver and the muscle. Okay. Space for another one yet. Right? So we've got the liver, this pathway, straight up, that's it, and we've got the muscle. So the insulin's job is basically, as cars come onto the road, or sugar, there's another piece gone, as sugar comes into the body and into your bloodstream, and you can imagine it like the analogy of a road in the car. Alright, the traffic cop there, insulin, is going to go, okay, that's great, you go to the liver, let's fill this first, and whatever else we've got, you go over there. And it's quite nice when it's like this, yeah? Just a little bit of sugar around your training and workouts, the carbs I mean, and then you'll direct it very easily. So everything's running smoothly through the day if we exercise and use this energy in our muscles, because as more sugars come in, you'll just fill the muscles, because we use this for energy and we use this for hormones and let's call it just body functions, yeah? Just liver, breathing, the whole lot, right? So we're going to use these storages and then we can add more in, yeah? You got the idea? Very clear, yeah? Now, if there's too many cars on the road, like Chickside Road usually is, okay? So Chickside Road's like probably the equivalent to our own bodies sometimes, alright? It's too busy, we're putting too many fast cars on the road, they're getting jammed up, and the roads and the storages and the car parks aren't big enough to store it all, so it's an absolute mess, alright? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about loads of sugars, and we don't use these because the muscles are full of glycogen. There's a big word, glycogen. That's basically stored carbs. Okay, so this is full, and then we've got more carbs here, or more sugars coming into the body and cars on the road, yeah? It's going to be a bit of a traffic jam, right? So what the traffic does, he's having an absolute nightmare, alright? He's like, oh my god, what do we do? And then he opens up an expressway, which is wider, like a kind of funnel, and he goes, right, all you guys down here, alright? And this, of course, is your fat cells, yes? Woo, that's good. Alright, so he's going to go and take it all over there. This is what happens when there's too much blood sugar and the insulin's not working very effectively. He's going to just send it straight to the fat cells. You'll get fatter, you'll still be training and exercising, but probably not enough to use all this energy. That's what we need to do, train hard. You use all this energy in your muscle, so we can at least fit some back in there and take the pressure off. He opens the road, sends everyone down this way towards fat. Alright, so bringing it back to the detox and what we're trying to do, we're trying to lower the amount of cars on the road initially. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're like this at the moment, okay? What we're going to do is completely close the road. We're going to close the road for carbs. We're going to avoid to have many carbohydrates coming in. In fact, let's take them all out. Alright? So basically it gives us a chance to use this fuel here over the next 2 weeks for energy. use these for our hormones, and actually this will get filled first, so the vegetables and the fruit that we consume will keep the liver sort of functioning. All right, and with minimum fat loss because there's little sugars and carbs coming in on the road. All right, so we're giving our insulin a bit of a break. He's less stressed, which means he's going to start working better. He's going to have a nice little sleep. He's going to wake up in the morning like fresh, like, come on, I've got nothing to do today. I just put my feet up. He's getting more rest. He's going to be working better. So you're going to become more insulin sensitive over the next couple of weeks. So then after 2 weeks, when we start bringing some more carbs and sugars back in, he's going to be like that, right, ready. You go muscles, you go liver, let's go. And we're controlling the intake then. And he's right on it, all right? Now, most people, bodies are insulin resistant. And one sign of this, we've all had the fitness assessments. One sign is if you are a man and you're above 20% body fat. If you're a woman, you're going to be above 30% body fat. Okay, so if that rings a bell with you, I'm going to say you're probably insulin resistant, and this is the most important thing you need to do. If you're less than that, you know, it's still good to do this, because again, it's setting and priming our body up, so we've got strong insulin, so we can take more carbohydrates in. Alright? If you're less than these numbers, you can have more carbohydrates, but you've got to get less than that first. Alright? So another one, everyone had the glycemic index. GI, glycemic index, glycemic load. Alright, so the glycemic index is basically a sort of scale of carbohydrate foods, higher carb foods, and it'll say how fast they release or digest into the blood cells, into the bloodstream. Yes, thanks. Into the bloodstream. Okay, so basically, if you consume, like, say, that's jelly babies. We all know jelly babies, right? Jelly tots, whatever. You consume them very high on the GI scale, 100 or more. That's going to digest into your blood sugar, into your bloodstream very quickly, which is going to give that insulin a big job because it's all rushing at it. All right. If you consume something like oats, or like sweet potato, or even something even lower in GI like vegetables, all right, he's going to be like that. It's coming at him slowly. It's coming at him, so he's like that. Got right side. He's like, right, so when we're going to put in, okay, straight there, rather than it all coming at him. That's GI explained for dummies, right? So.